Jerry Jones, owner for the Dallas Cowboys, making news again. After his Dallas Cowboys committed 8 turnovers Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals in a snooze fest, Jerry Jones spoke to Tim Cowlishaw of the Dallas Morning News. Quote, "I made the presentation. You can see how I did." End quote. Jones actually believes that a longer regular season and a shorter training camp preseason will result in fewer, not more concussions. He says, quote, "I can make the case that we have an uptick in concussions in the preseason," Jones said. "If you look at it, I would contend there would be less exposure. There also would be more money, a lot more money. It will provide more than $1 billion to the players," Jones said. "It's certainly worth considering. It would direct more value for what the players expend to the players." Ladies and gentlemen, grab a hold of your seatbelt. I 1,000% agree with Jerry Jones. The preseason should be lessened. The regular season should be extended. And as far as I'm concerned, and it's a simple reason. When you're out there as a football player, it's costing you anyway. Practice on that turf, cutting, jabbing, tackling, etc. You're putting yourself through the physical exertion anyway. You're doing it anyway. So if that's what you're going to do, why don't you do it when the games count? And if there's more money, because the regular season games are obviously worth more than preseason games, and you're jeopardizing your health, your well-being, and your career during preseason and practice, why not minimize practice? Why not minimize preseason games? And if it dilutes the product to some degree, ladies and gentlemen, that's only the first few weeks of the season. That's only the first few weeks of the season. So what? You got to look at guys look a little bit sloppy. So what? You got to look at guys not look, like their A games are there with them. So what? The games should count more often. 18-game regular season. Now you got people that I know, they don't believe that. They believe do away with the preseason, keep the 16 games, have 2 bye weeks in the season, and probably extend a playoff team in each conference to 8 games as opposed to 6. No, I'm opposed to that. I'm saying, make the regular season 18 games. Make the regular season count that much more. But in the same breath, you're not really jeopardizing anyone from an extra perspective because, again, ladies and gentlemen, they're jeopardizing themselves anyway when they practice. This is football. It's almost like boxing. You ain't shadow boxing. If somebody is punching you upside the head just because it ain't in front of a live audience on pay-per-view doesn't mean you ain't getting knocked upside your head. So if you got to go through and endure this stuff anyway, you might as well make it count more, have more money thrown into the coffers of all of that, and call it a day. That's what you might as well do. That's what I would do. I wouldn't hesitate. This is a no-brainer. Jerry Jones is 1,000% correct on this issue. Plain and simple. The preseason should be completely eradicated as far as I'm concerned, but if you want to keep it 2 weeks, fine. But outside of that, let's get down to these games, baby. 18 games. 18 games. I completely and wholeheartedly agree with Jerry Jones. Y'all got me agreeing with Jerry Jones for crying out loud.